Hi, so I just want to do a quick introduction again of who I am, a bit about my background, and what we're going to be covering over the next few weeks and few months. So, my story, I was born and raised in South Africa, and before I was born, my dad got diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia cancer. He tried everything the medical way for years, and eventually they sent him home to die with only a few months left to make things right at home. And so he went on a mission to find out what is the cause of his illnesses and is there anything he can do about it. And so that's when he discovered that the body is the healer. As long as you give it the right environment, the right nutrients, and find out what is the cause, get rid of that problem, your body can heal itself. Now he's in his 60s, healthier than ever, no sign of cancer, no sign of any health problems. He does circles around me, he's got so much energy. And so then at the age of 14, I moved to the USA. I did my high school here. And just after that, well, I met my amazing, beautiful wife. But just before that, I went on a mission trip to Southeast Asia. I drank from water sources I probably shouldn't have. I ate foods I shouldn't have from weird places. And I got extremely sick. I got really sick out there. And then a little bit after that, I went through some extremely traumatic experiences, which who knew would wreck my body and really cause my organs to start taking an impact and start slowing down. And then a little bit after that really bad traumatic experience, I went and I lived in a moldy house that I was fixing up to sell, to flip. And I lived in that for almost a year. And then after that, I went and got married, which best decision of my life. But the timing was just sad when I went from getting really sick, picking up parasites in Southeast Asia, then going through really traumatic experiences, then living in mold. My body said that's enough. And when I got married, my health just really started going downhill. It started going downhill a while before that, but really got bad around the time that I got married. As you can see, I went from about 180 to 120 pounds, lost over 60 pounds in just a few months, not trying to. I was eating more than I was before. I was moving less. I was doing everything I can to try and put on weight. But as time went on, I started getting an absurd amount of symptoms, and my life just went to the crapper really quickly. I was getting extreme brain fog, mood swings, depth perception, insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep for years. Bad night sweats, wake up with a whole bed soaking wet, cold sweats, joint pain and stiffness as getting out of control, blood in stools, chest pain, not absorbing my nutrients. That was a huge thing. Everything I went in just went straight out. Went in, went straight out. I was chronically dehydrated, um, but at the same time, I was drinking a gallon of water a day. And I'll later in this, I'll explain why that was. I I had chronic diarrhea, but actually the diarrhea was caused by really bad constipation. I had heart palpitations. I got really dizzy, lightheaded. I'd often pass out when I stood up too quickly. My hands and feet were losing circulation. They were turning really, like, they were going purple. And I had really bad skin fungal problems, especially on my feet, low immune system, really bad bloating, really bad stomach cramps, chronic like indigestion. And it felt like people would like stick knives in my stomach where I just want to curl up and cry. Um, and I started getting really bad food intolerances, whereas before I had no problems with any food, as though I thought. And then suddenly I had sensitivities towards all dairy. I started getting sensitivities to nuts. Suddenly my throat started swelling up, getting itchy. Luckily, nothing was never too serious about that. It was just terrifying. Um, and I had no clue why, because my whole life I had a few health issues, but it was from not having the correct nutrients when I was born, so heart palpitations, and weak bones, basically low calcium in my body. But those are things I got under control as life went on. This was completely different. With this, I never really had stomach problems. I never had other health problems, and I'd started to get out of my health routine because growing up as a kid, because of my dad's cancer journey, he turned into one of the world's top renowned nutritionists, travels the world doing incredible talks on how to heal the body, how to reverse illnesses, and give the body what it needs. And so every day growing up as a kid, I got fed veggie juices first thing in the morning, really high dense, high protein meals. I sorry, high nutrient dense meals. And after school on weekends, I was always at my parents' nutritional conferences. And so I was just my whole life just fed nutrition, fed nutrition, fed nutrition, talking about mentally and physically, um, and kind of didn't have a choice about it. And so I had so much knowledge in health and the body and nutrition. And so, but as I got a little older and I had to pay more of the bills, I started to buy cheaper stuff and I started to cheap out. I started not to be so healthy. I started to have a lot of the junk out there just because it was cheap and easy and quick. Um, and so when I started getting really sick, I got to the point where I couldn't work anymore. I could barely get out of bed. Um, I could maybe stand for like 3, 4 minutes at a time before I had to sit down. I just had nothing left in me. And I was just withering away to skin and bones, and my body was slowly shutting down. And I went for test after test, doctor after doctor, specialist after specialist, all around the country, and no one could figure anything out. All the tests came back great, besides the parasites. That came back that I had a bunch of different parasites. Got rid of that. Some things are a little better, but that was not the main cause of my problems. And so it got to the point where I wouldn't want to sleep at night. Well, I wouldn't want to try and sleep at night because my breathing was so shallow and my throat was so tight that I was scared that I wasn't going to wake up in the morning. And I was just so weak and I was constantly sweating and life was really scary. I couldn't think straight. I could barely move. Life was just miserable and I hated it and I was terrified. Um, and I just wanted an answer from a doctor, whether that was a good answer or a bad answer. I just wanted to know what was causing this so I could fix it, so I could start working on it. Because when you don't know what's wrong, it's really hard to start fixing the problem. And that's when I started to really dig deep for myself into nutrition. I started studying every book I could find on the body and health and nutrition and diseases and illnesses, every course I could find, every program I could find, every specialist out there. And I would just study them and study them and study them. And after about a month of going down an extreme rabbit hole, I could start like walking around the house and like cooking and doing different things and starting to like stretch and like get a little bit of strength back in me. And food wasn't going straight out. I was holding down some food and I could feel I was slowly getting hydrated again, slowly but surely. And I was like, this is crazy. If this is if this is what I can do in a month, imagine where I'm gonna be like in 3 months, in 4 months, in 6 months, in a year. Because honestly, where I was about, I think I was about 3 months away from Christmas. And I did not know if I was going to make it to Christmas. I really didn't think I was going to. My family came out to say their goodbyes to me. It was a rough point. It was a really rough point. And so when I started getting a little more strength, a little more energy, I could eat a little more. It was just, I just wanted to break down and cry every day just because of how grateful I was. But at the same time, I didn't believe because I was like, yeah, but I started to feel better before and then I just got sick again. I started to feel better before and I started to get sick again. And I was so scared that this was just going to be the same thing, that I get better and I'd start getting sick again. And so after a month went by and I was a little better, after 2 months went by, I started to be able to like walk around, like just walk down the street and come back. For like 3 months, I could like walk around the block. I could start speaking for longer periods of time. And I was like, this is insane. Like I'm putting on weight again and my life's coming back. Now, still I was still befuddled of what was harming me so much. But I was just so grateful that my health was coming back. So I just really went on a mission to I became a fitness trainer, a sports nutritionist, integrative health practitioner. I'm level 1 right now. I'm studying to become level 2. And, I have over 20 years of nutrition education just being slammed down my throat into my head just from the lifestyle that I was brought up in. And having multiple generations that healed their issues. Just for example, so not only has my dad reversed his cancer, his mom reversed her cancer. My dad's sisters, two of his sisters, reversed their cancers. My sister got rid of her cancer. Um, my mom had a growth in her esophagus. She reversed that. There are so many countless stories that I can give you from my family and our friends, and thousands of clients around the world that have used this system, that have rebuilt their health no matter what it was. No matter what it was, because our body is a system that works as one, and we just have to give it the correct environment, the correct nutrients, and learn to understand it and love it, and it will flourish like a flower in a garden. You don't water that flower, it's going to die. You don't give that flower a bit of fertilizer, it could die. You don't give it a bit of shade, it's sun damage and die. You have to learn to love that flower. Love that flower and give it what it needs for it in order to bloom and flourish. And our bodies are the same. We're complicated, but we're not that complicated. We're a lot simpler than we think we are. So again, the body was designed and equipped with all the tools it needs to heal and repair itself. All we have to do is supply it with the right ingredients, which is fuel or food, and environment for it to use to get to work and repair any problems inside it. So everything we're going to be covering is life experience. It's a combination of everything I've learned over the past about 30 years of health and nutrition, and seen thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of clients being reversing their problems, with all the studies that I've invested into, and I've put together this incredible program that has been used to help tens of thousands of people around the world. And that's why I'm just so excited for you, because I couldn't keep this to myself. I honestly could not. I was in such a dark place, and I know you probably are too. And I want you to know that there is hope. You can get out of this, and you will get out of this. Just stick to the plan, stick to the program, and just take one day at a time. Don't care about tomorrow. Just focus on now. What am I doing now? So, a few things we're going to be covering over the next few weeks, the next few months. So, we're going to be tackling mindset. We're going to be tackling food and hydration, stress management, mastering your movement, perfecting your sleep, understanding supplements, and there's going to be so much more, so many more add-ons, but that is the main juice behind it. And with this, there's going to be regular Q&A calls that I'm going to get on, and I'm going to be answering all questions that anyone has. There's going to be, so this is inside a private community where it's a safe space where you can share your challenges, your problems, your wins, your successes. And we're here to help you. We're here to love you. And we're here to help you win, because we're all in this together. We're all a team. And that's what's so exciting about it. So we're bringing together your body, mind, spirit into building you your perfect health. So the next module, we're going to be getting into mindset. And I want to say again that I've cut out all the fluff. I've cut out all the BS. These are very simple, straightforward steps. If you think you don't understand something, I want you to re-watch that video lesson. And if you still don't understand it, feel free to send me a message within the group. But I want you to know it is as simple as I have laid it out. There's nothing complicated. I have made this so ABC 1, 2, 3 easy for you, me, anyone to do and to win and get results. And I don't care if you're a vegetarian. I don't care if you eat everything. I don't care if you're on the carnivore diet. I help everyone where they at. I don't care if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 60s, if you're at perfect weight but super sick, or if you're extremely obese. This program is designed to help all of you get into the most optimal shape of your life, and I'm going to personally help you within this program. So I'm so excited, and you should be receiving your notebooks in the mail. So your journals, your food journals. So once you receive those, you can start journaling. But in the meantime, make a welcome post inside the group. And I'm just so excited for you and so excited for you to get on the next chapter, which is conquering your mindset, which is honestly by far, I would say, one of the most important things that we have to do and one of the hardest things I had to do. But I'm so grateful I did now.